Hey, what's up, bootstrappers? Welcome to Motivational Monday number 16. Yeah, I just pulled that number out of thin air because I've done so many of these, I can't even remember which number I would be on. So we're going to start with number 16 and start numbering these things going forward. All right, so, and I'm going to actually start labeling these for you so you know what the topic is. So I've had a lot of coaching students that I've reached out to me in our coaching sessions, and I'm seeing a consistency across the board about them not knowing where to focus. It's great. They get all excited. They know exactly what they need to do to go out and capture these leads, to go out and capture these. What's up, Michael? They go out and capture what their newfound wealth of knowledge, to go out and find these homeowners. What's up, Jared? And they're going to go out there, and what I find is that they are so scattered. They're so scattered. They're going after every single opportunity under the sun, which is not a bad idea, except it is a bad idea. Good morning, Christina. The problem is that they're going after everything, and that's the biggest problem that they have. And so I've actually narrowed down my coaching students. I've told them, I said, look, you know what? I want you to focus on no more than three properties to go after in a given week. So 3's the limit. And I want you to let me know exactly where you're getting stuck. And lo and behold, you'll see. Good morning, Rusty. I'm starting to see now with my coaching students is that they're not stuck on the techniques. They know the techniques. What they're stuck on are some of the fundamental basics. They're stuck on targeting the wrong properties. What happens if the market crashes? Jared, elaborate on that. What exactly are you asking me if the market crashes? So let's say the market does crash. What's your real question? So that's the fundamental issue that I'm seeing with not just one, not just two, but many of my coaching students, is that they have the basics down as far as the understanding of who cares? That's right. Who cares the market crashes? Guys like Michael Neal have tons of cash. They're going to go buy it all up. That's what I love. I love that attitude. That's the best attitude in the world. Who cares if it crashes? I'll go out and gobble everything up, and then I'll just go ahead and sit on it, wait for it to rebound, because it always does. Markets are cyclical. And so going back though to my students, is they know what they're doing. They know how to go out and get a deal under contract. They know how to get a skinny deal. Good morning, Dan. And that's completely fine. But what they fail to do is they fail to properly identify a property, or they fail. So I see three main areas of lack of just complete, just utter, just falling apart in their business with these coaching students. The first one is, and this is why I focus on them and have them have to go only after 3, because when you go after 3 targets, you're gonna be painfully aware of exactly where your deficiencies are in your business. Because when you're going after 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20, 100 different leads, you're too busy chasing the next lead to see the cracks in your ship and see why you're sinking. It's not until the market starts to slow down and you realize the leads start to dry up that you're like, holy crap, I'm not going anywhere. My ship is sinking here. And it was sinking the whole entire time, but you never knew that because you were riding the momentum and coasting into the shore, that you never knew that you were sinking as you were going in towards the shoreline. Which is why I want you to scale it back and look at 3 deals, no more than 3 deals per week, and you're going to see exactly where all the cracks are in your ship and how poor your business is put together and how poor your systems and structures and follow-up procedures are. And it's the best time in the world right now during the holidays, when things are going to be naturally slow, for you to go ahead and pick up a few deals. And what's up, Patty? And to go forward and to make some changes and corrections in your business. So let me go ahead and point out the 3 things that I see in most individuals' businesses when they're trying to do this thing, when they're trying to go after property owners. One is they don't know how to identify a good property. So what they'll do is they'll go after every property. And I teach mainly pre-foreclosures. I do some advanced training and some probates and stuff like that. Oh, hang on. Let's see this question we got here from Jared. All right. If the market crashes and you have to pay the owner in 5 years, what if the property isn't worth as much as you can sell it for and you owe to the owner? Okay, let's play that game. Let's play this what if game so that you're not sitting on the sidelines because you're afraid to actually jump in the business here. But let's just play this what if game, okay, Jared? So let's say what if this happens and in 5 years the market isn't where it's supposed to be. Good morning, JP. So what happens in that case? You go back to the seller and you renegotiate. You say, seller, you know what? Guess what? The market isn't where it's at. I can't pay you because the market isn't where it's at. Seller's going to say, that's fine. Okay, I understand. I'll either one, want the property back, which if it's not worth it, why would he want it back? Or two, great, just continue to pay me until the market rebounds, and then we'll relook at this thing in a year or two, or 3 or 4 or 5. It's really simple. But for you to say, well, what if the market crashes? I'm not going to get in this game, is completely just a fear-based game. It's someone not willing to take some risk and to get out there and make some money because they're afraid of what could happen. A lot of stuff could happen. Good morning, Randy. I mean, hell, there are people in paradise that they lost everything in California. I mean, the whole 95% of the town completely burnt down. But that didn't stop them from going out there and making money. I mean, no one would have thought hey, this would have happened. All kinds of stuff could happen. You bought it wrong to start with. Learn and move on. Yeah, great question. Great point, Michael. So you made a mistake in buying it. That's it happens, man. I've made plenty of mistakes in buying my properties. But in talking to sellers, you know what? Most of them don't want the property back. I got a property right now that I had a buyer default on it, and the seller knew that I was selling it to another person, and they defaulted, and she said, look, I don't want the property back, just pay me. And so we ended up working out a payment plan because she wanted a lump sum, and the lump sum option didn't work, so we just worked out a payment plan and just paid it back. That works for you. Good. Glad that works for you. Awesome. So, okay, going back to identifying. So what happens is most students, or just not students anyway, just people in general, are just going after every single lead. And what happens is they don't see that they're actually really sinking rather than moving forward. There's a little bit of momentum that moves them forward, but they don't see that there's holes in their business because they haven't identified the property properly. I know it's a lot of P's, but they haven't identified the property properly. And that's a big problem. So what happens is they go, man, this stuff doesn't work, or these sellers aren't working with me, or whatever. When it comes down to filtering the right person, the right seller that you're going to go after, and you're going to go ahead and take a look at, hey, how can I actually make this opportunity work for me? Get some water here. Okay, so let me give you a case in point. So for me, pre-foreclosures are a gold mine. I love pre-foreclosures, but not just any pre-foreclosure. When I first started doing pre-foreclosures, I was going after every single pre-foreclosure that was out there. And I started to go, hey, what's going on here? How come these sellers aren't selling the property? Man, they're obviously going to lose it to the bank. And many of them, unfortunately, did lose their properties to the bank. They lost, they just sat there, put their heads in the sand, and just lost these properties. And so what I've learned, for me in my business, is that I go after pre-foreclosures that are, I don't even know what this construction company is doing right here, but I'm going to cut this guy off and go down the street. So what I do is I go after vacant pre-foreclosures. So now I'm a niche within a niche. I'm very targeted within my niche of pre-foreclosures. I'm going after vacant pre-foreclosures. Why do I go after vacant pre-foreclosures? Well, because they've already walked away and said to the bank, look, I don't want that property. It's yours. You can have it. And for me, that's a laydown. I've had to move people. I've had to get storage units. I've had to get U-Hauls. I've had to move all kinds of stuff. Good morning, Jeremy. All on my own to help these people get out of their houses. And the emotional stress, the drama, the threaten, the family members coming in the last minute threatening to kill me because I'm taking their mom's house. All these crazy, crazy things that happen when dealing with the emotions of people that are still in their house when they're in pre-foreclosure. So for me, a vacant pre-foreclosure is ideal. So I target those specifically. Or if it's a pre-foreclosure that I know for sure that the homeowner is just, biding their time, waiting for the bank to kick them out because they know that nothing's going to happen. But if I can show up because their equity is at a small enough amount, I will go after those only after I've exhausted my vacants. So for me, it's identifying the right property. So after you've identified the right property, the other part where I see that people fall short is that they don't have a follow-up system, or they don't go deep enough. They go, well, I called the person, I text the person, and that was it. Nothing ever happened. They never got back to me. I'm like, that's ridiculous. You know what I do? I call the person, I text the person, I mail the person, I find them on Facebook, I Facebook that person, I go to their neighbors and I find their neighbors, and then if all of that doesn't work, I go to the relatives, and I start finding the relatives. Now, I get shut down a lot. I had the one lady tell me that I was a complete, borderline stalker, because she blocked me on Facebook, and then I went and found her dad, and I talked to her dad, and I went and found all these other people, and she was just pissed off that I did this. But hey, you know what? I didn't get the deal. The house is still sitting there. No one else is buying it, but no one else. She's been hiding from anyone else. Now this is not a pre-foreclosure. This is a different kind of strategy. This is a probate one where it's just sitting there and the city wants to eventually take it. What's up, Letitia? But the thing of the matter is that I go as deep as I possibly can until I hit all dead ends. And then at that point I have to evaluate, okay, am I going to come back and I'm going to, third part, follow up. And how am I going to follow up with this person? Am I going to continue to drip on them? Am I going to get more aggressive? Am I going to find out where they live and go knock on their door? I mean, what do I have to do in order to get this deal done? And that's the mentality that I have. That's the underlying principle that I always have, is what do I have to do to get this deal done once I've identified it as being a deal? So I'll back up here. It's finding the right properties. Then it's going as deep as you possibly can to find the owner. What's up, Steve? And then after you've done that, it's following up. And how consistently are you following up? For me, I like the 1-1-1 rule. What I mean by that is, if I make contact with the person, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, and then it's every month consistently. I used to do every 21 days, but then I got all screwed up. Like, oh wait, what day is this? What week is this? Is this the 3rd week or the 4th week? So I just do it every month. And there are various methods of doing it. You don't need me to tell you that you can go out there and do slide dial or text messaging or whatever you want to do. There are 100 ways for you to go out there and follow up with people. The fact of the matter is you need to follow up. And that's what I find, that those are the 3 areas where people start falling apart in their business, because they're going after so many leads that they never focus on going deep, and they never focus on the follow-up because they're so busy focusing on the next little lead when in reality the lead was never even a good lead anyway, because it was just like, oh, there's a lead here, oh, there's a lead here, oh, there's a lead here, and they just keep going after lead after lead after lead instead of actually narrowing down proper leads. So that's my little rant on the way to the office today, and a little bit of motivation for you guys to get your business in gear. All right, any last questions for y'all? We had some good ones starting off here. What? Check engine soon? What the heck is this all about? This must be because of all the poor air quality. I bet I have a bad filter because the air has been like so bad, and I've been up in Oroville going up to the fires. Just gonna have to add some business up there. But all right, any questions before you guys get going on your motivation for today? All right, with that, I will see you guys all on the other side. Have a great day. This is a great week. Go out there, make some money, because remember, you're just one deal away from changing your entire financial future. Check engine soon. Car about to blow up? Yeah, Randy. No, not quite sure what that means, but I think it's a filter. I don't think I'm getting enough oxygen to my car. I think my filter's probably pretty bad from going up to Oroville last week. Man, that was real bad air quality last week when I was up there. I was getting nauseous just breathing that air, and I had to get a mask and stuff like that. But all right, I'll see y'all later. Bye, Donna.